He's been with the physios and with rehab till now, and we are training today, as you know. So let's see if he can join the team session today. And that is something I expect, but I'm not 100% sure yet because I haven't spoken to him or the medical staff this morning yet.
Will you be hopeful maybe?
I'm hopeful, but that's not to say I'm 100% sure. Yeah, it wasn't only special for me, it was special for a lot of people. Yeah, there's a big difference between where we are now and where we were then. That's clear and obvious. But it's a great memory. But I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow in 2 days again as well, because playing at home at Anfield is always something to look forward to. And we have a point to prove, because the last game in the league we've lost, the last game in the Champions League we've lost, and then now playing in front of our own fans is something we will always find special. What I want is that I am able that every single player gets the maximum out of every single training session and game we are playing from now until the end of the season. And that is the aim for me, and that should be the aim for the players, and I'm 100% sure that is the aim for the players, because that's the only way to get the maximum out of what is there, what is in it for us, and what's that exactly going to be. That's not always so easy to say in advance, because sometimes you need a little bit of luck. Sometimes, like last season when we played the last 16, it went to penalties. And we were really close of beating Paris Saint-Germain. We lost, and they went on to win the Champions League. So margins at the level we are playing, Premier League, Champions League, are really small. But we have to fight for those margins every single day to make them bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the aim. That was already the aim in the start of the season, but that's even more the aim now.
I suppose in the way you set the bar high last season, didn't you? That's part of the problem. You set the bar so high.
I think the bar at Liverpool is always high. Has always been high and will always be high, and that's only a good thing. We're a top club where the bar should be set high by the people around us, but we will set the bar just as high. And yeah, indeed, last season we were able to achieve one of the things we wanted to achieve, and that was winning the league, close to winning the League Cup, which we lost in the final against Newcastle. And this season, of course, we're unable to win the league again, but we're still in two cups, Champions League and the FA Cup, where we are competing. Yeah.
Enjoy Sunday.
Thank you all.
Hello again. Can I just come back to the player updates? With Alisson, what is his injury?
He felt something when he passed the ball in one of his muscles. So, but after we checked it, it was so minor that we think it doesn't have to take very long. But as always, games follow up so fast that he had to miss the one against Galatasaray, and hopefully he's available and ready for Sunday. If not, I'm expecting him, if things go as planned, definitely against Galatasaray.
And Federico wasn't feeling his best, was he? Has he?
I expect he feels better now, because he felt unwell the day before the game, and I think we're now 3 or 4 days further ahead. So I think he's able to train with us today again.
And given that it was the reverse fixture, I think, wasn't it, when Alexander got his injury? If I don't ask you about Alexander, it will probably be the one where he's out kicking a ball or something. So can I just double check on where he is now in his comeback as well, please?
With the rehab team still, and not with the team yet.
Okay.
No, I think it only pushes us. As I just said, we hold ourselves to the highest standards as well. And this is another example of how successful this club has been and will be and still is. But if we reach that mark, I don't feel completely responsible for that, because I wasn't there 1,500 games. But it's always nice to be part of a club that is achieving so many special things, because that means that you're at a club where you can win something, and that's something I want. That's something what the players want. We are working every single day as hard as we do because we want to achieve something. We want to win something, and we are in a lucky situation that we are a club that is able to do so, as history has shown and recent history has shown as well. I prefer not to rank them in the following order. They're all different profiles for different positions, but it's obvious and clear that me and the club sees the importance of him and how much he developed, and as a result of that, he signed a new contract. Another young player, which was signed very young, as you know from our model, and has the ability to grow, and I think he's a great example of that. His first season was maybe not at the level as he was last season, but that is completely normal if you sign young players that have to adjust first to the Premier League, and there's a lot to come from them, and that has been our model even before I was here, and that's still our model, signing younger players who have get the chance here in this great environment with such a great facilities and so many great people working here, to improve those players, for them to develop, and then when their peak is coming, and that's usually when they're a bit older, and they are still playing for us. Then you have to look at how the games went and who the manager was and what the playing style of the other team was. I think, if I'm correct, the last two times Ange Postecoglou was their manager. And I think he's known for a different style of football than we mainly see in the Premier League at the moment. So yeah, then games are a bit more open, as the game Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea was also very open, because two teams want to attack, want to press. But that's not so common anymore in football, that two teams want to play in that style against each other. So I'm expecting in 2 days a different Tottenham in terms of setup, playing style, formation than a year ago. I think if Tottenham were number one in the league at the moment, every fan would expect us at home to win. And that, as if we play against Man City, that's when we play against Arsenal, that's every game this club plays at home, we're expected to win. And that has nothing to do with the form of the other team or where they are in the league or the quality they have. We can win our 1500th, that's what it was, wasn't it? Game at home. So yeah, expectations come from history, and history has shown that this club has been able to win a lot of games, let alone home games. So it doesn't matter who we face. Expectations are always sky high at this club, and that's what we are embracing, because that also means, as I said before, that this club is able to win things, and that's what we've done in the past few years, and in the history as well. No, I believe in the opposite thing. I believe that a good individual performance comes from a good team performance, and I think in the first 15-20 minutes we were at it or on it. I don't exactly know how you say this, but 3-4 moments where we should have scored, and then there was a moment that completely changed the momentum of the game, conceding a set piece, not for the first time in this season, that changed the momentum of the game completely. That is not what we are accepting. We cannot say, okay, if we concede a goal after 20 minutes, then everything should be much worse than it was before. But I agree with you. We didn't play our best game of the season. That's also completely clear. I also saw that for an away game in Europe, we were able to generate enough chances to score a goal, more than a few other teams were able to create in an away game in a Champions League. But we've struggled throughout this whole season with converting the chances we've got, and unfortunately, we have the bad cocktail of conceding from the few conceding goals from the few chances we are conceding. And as long as we cannot repair that, then every game is going to be very difficult. but I have a lot of confidence that we're able to do better because of the quality players we are having, and because of the fact that the upcoming 2 games are played at home. I think playing away against Galatasaray had a big, and then them getting the goal, that was a big momentum shift, but also in the energy in the stadium. So I'm really looking forward to play twice at home now, with the support we've always felt from our fans. That can make a massive difference for us. That is 2 weeks ago. West Ham, yeah, I think so, yeah. I see his form as I saw it 2 weeks ago. I think he played a good to decent game against Galatasaray, but he also received a yellow card in an environment where we conceded a lot of soft free kicks, of soft yellow cards. And a team that we were facing that was really smart in addressing that. So I thought it was too much of a risk to keep him in the team for the chance of him getting a second yellow card, because he is always aggressive in his duels, and some teams in some environments can be really smart in if a player is on yellow, to try to create an atmosphere where he can get a second one. So with me having Robbo, I decided not to take that risk, because the games in Europe before we played Galatasaray twice, the team they faced, Juve, got a red card, and one of the 2 times it was the left fullback. So I'm trying to take a lot of things into account in the decisions I make, and that was the reason why I took Milos off. Not because he played badly. I think he played very, very decent. He had no problems till that moment with his winger. But he had the problem of being on a yellow with a referee that was giving quite a lot of free kicks to Galatasaray. Not to jump to a conclusion after one game day, I think that's such a small sample size. That's never the smartest thing to do. Because maybe after next week we will completely have a different conclusion. I think in general it's not helpful for English club not to have a winter break, but I'm not saying now that all these teams have lost because we don't have a winter break. Why? Because you are facing, in the last 16 of Europe, you're facing very good teams. And 4 of the 5 teams in the Champions League played away from home. That's usually an advantage to play at home, or a disadvantage to play away. So to immediately jump to conclusions, missing a winter break, or the level of the Premier League is not as high as we expected it to be, that would be, for me, at this moment of time, not the right conclusion to make. Let's first judge us all after next week, and then maybe then it's still too early to jump to conclusions. But one of the things is definitely also that if you are in the Champions League last 16, all the teams are very good and strong teams. And if you play 4 out of 5 away from home, and the margins were in all the games I saw quite small. I saw our own game. The margins were really small. I think we didn't deserve to lose. Arsenal, the margins were really small. And maybe it sounds weird, but I didn't saw the 3-0 coming when I watched the first half of City against Real Madrid. The only one I didn't saw was Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea, but people told me that Chelsea was very involved in that game and didn't deserve to lose 5-2. So yeah, jumping conclusions about one game is usually not what I would do. No, it's not that we think so far ahead what it would mean for the rest, but we've been this season, we've treated him carefully. I think I've said something about that before, that he cannot be too many days in a row on the pitch because of stress fractures. Players of these age sometimes have and have had here at this club. Jadon Dance is one of the examples of that. But yeah, Rio is a player that could start for us. I think I've said a month ago that he would get more playing time, and I think we've all seen that coming in for longer spell of times, starting against Wolves, and he's definitely an option to start in one of the upcoming 3 games, because as you know, for the 5th time this season, I think, we have to play 3 games in 7 days with an early kickoff on Sunday and an away game at Brighton. So we've been very lucky with that this season, with that schedule. So yeah, that means you need more than 11 players, and of course the midweek game can also be longer than 90, as we've experienced last season. So with them playing 3 games in 7 days, every player that's fit has the chance to play or to start in the upcoming 3 games.